Hello everyone, I am back with another, I don't know what to call this. Finding it a little strange looking at myself with this thing, with this beard. Uh, I'm growing it for a certain reason, but it makes me feel like I'm looking at another person. But anyway, this is about someone uh, who just won the Wimbledon, and his name is Carlos Alcaraz. And I just wanted to point out two things. One is, of course, because he also won the US Open last year, we are having some consistency in terms of maybe younger players, catching up. And, of course, it was a very, very nail biting match and all that, but I'm not here to give you tennis commentary. I liked one thing that this young winner said, which is, I am proud. When he was being asked those questions, he's how do you feel and all that kind of stuff, which is all very tough show. Like, how would a person holding a Wimbledon cup feel? Of course, he's going to feel fucking elated, right? It's like, I don't know, but you've got to ask these questions, I guess. Among other things, he said he was very proud. And I love this, because there is we've been taught there are all these sayings like pride is one of the seven deadly sins, which even if you didn't know from the Bible, David Fincher taught you that in Seven. We've been taught things like I don't know if you had a moral science class or something like that, but we've been taught things like pride goes before a fall and all that kind of stuff. So when someone says I'm proud, what he's basically saying is, I'm proud of my achievement. I really feel proud today that I am where I am. I welcome that because we are a society that tends to value humility. And we say that, oh my God, he's so successful and yet he's so humble. And I'm like, as if that's like this great thing. I don't know what that's got to do with anything because if anything, this guy's worked his ass off. He's spent countless hours, doing, playing nothing but tennis when the rest of us were watching Netflix or whatever it is that we were doing. He's dedicated his whole life to it. His coaches have dedicated their lives to it. Whatever it is, he's at this point not because he just picked up a racket and said, "Hey, let's try give it Wimbledon a shot." He's here because he focused his entire life towards this moment, or rather towards tennis. And if he's proud, it's a justifiable reaction, and it is not a bad reaction, is what I'm trying to say here. It's like pride in one's own achievements that one has tried very hard to get to. I think that's a very valid emotion, as opposed to, I don't know, I've never found it. I'm proud to be an Indian. I'm proud to be a Tamilian or whatever these kinds of things. Yes, I'm happy to be a Tamilian. I'm happy to be an Indian, but I don't know if I can use the word pride or proud in something that I have not myself contributed to. That I have, it's an accident of birth. I have no contribution towards my being an Indian or a Tamilian. So I don't know if I can be proud of that. I can definitely be happy about it. I can definitely, take joy in that. But pride is something that you get when you bust your ass off and you feel, wow, I did it. The very fact that you say I did it means that there is some pride involved, right? You're not going to say, I feel so humbled that today I'm at this point where, by just some chance I just hit those strokes and I just happened to serve well, and yes, the wind was in my favor. And no, be proud. You have achieved this. He's very justified in saying that he's proud of his achievement. That's the whole thing. And one of the reasons I kind of wanted to put up this post is because we we tend to value humility to such an extent that we keep saying things like, oh my God, look at Roger Federer, he's achieved so much and yet he's so humble. Oh my God, look at A. Rahman, he's achieved so much and yet he's so humble. The humility, maybe that's a different part of it, and we have nothing to do with that aspect of it. In fact, one of the most charming things that I saw in recent times was Rahman, jamming with L. Subramaniam in what he called. I think they called it a fun masterclass, is what it was. And Rahman was playing this continuum keyboard, and El Subs, of course, was doing this violin thing. He was on his violin, and Raman actually seemed to be like learning for it, and that for me is a a great sign that you've not reached a level where you think I know everything. You're kind of open to taking things from others, right? And kind of grow. So that's there. I mean, that's there. But my thing is, Rahman is also not going to go down in my eyes if he feels that there is some pride in his achievements. And that's what I'm coming to say. It's like, because I remember long back, when I was a I don't know if I was ever a cub reporter. I never was that young. But when I was starting out, right, because I started out late in journalism, I don't have a journalism degree. I started out late, and I interviewed the singer T.M. Krishna. And at that time, he said, of course, people come to listen to the music, but they also come to listen to me because I am a brand. At that point, I thought, oh my God, what a conceited thing to say, because, and that became the headline, which the editors put up. And I said, oh my God, what a conceited thing to say. It's like, I am a brand. Oh my God. They're coming to listen to me. Wow. What a, how dare he say this? My internal, middle class South Indian upbringing was kind of doing the gear thing, because, we're taught to be like, don't show off, don't, brag about your achievements. If you, just kind of be under the radar. And I think our parents are also the same way. They're like pretty much like, Ma, I got 99 on 100. Dad is like, why? What happened to that one mark? We're all brought up kind of that way. I don't know if you were, but at least I was brought up that way. So it's like, you're kind of, they try to keep you grounded, even if it sometimes fucks up with you, like seriously. But never mind, that's another post. I will come to it. But this, I think, is at the root of everything. We're taught to be humble, right? We're taught to be all these things. So, but later, when I felt a sense of pride at getting the national award, when I sensed some pride at, whatever achievement down the way, or whatever it is, that seemed to be a genuine. I didn't feel like a bad person. I didn't feel like, oh my God, deadly sin has happened. I felt like I'm happy. This is a good moment. Enjoy it for 5 minutes and then forget about it, right? It's not going to define you for the rest of your life. But those 5 minutes, I'm proud of myself. I worked fucking hard to get to that place. I really worked my ass off. And now I'm at that place. And wow, that's good. So that's exactly, like a million times over what Alcaraz is feeling. And I think he has a right to be proud. Pride is good in this case. Where I think pride is bad is when you start, being proud about everything and anything, and where you have no personal part to play in whatever that pride is that you're feeling. Anyway, coming back to the Team Krishna example, I finally understood after my own little being proud journey happened at times. I found that, yes, I go to a concert to listen to Carnatic music, but I go to a T.M. Krishna concert to know how T.M. Krishna sings those Carnatic ragas. What is T.M. Krishna going to sing today? What is T.M. Krishna going to do in terms of his, with the 3 hours that, or 2 hours that he's been allotted? So when T.M. Krishna said, I am a brand, that's exactly what he meant. That people come to him to listen to what he is going to do. And today I can say I am a brand because there are people, not as many of the other video reviewers, but there are people who come to me to read what I have to say about a particular film. So I could say, in a way, I am a brand. But this is not being conceited. This is just understanding the reality that you have worked and, kept yourself going. You've been practicing your craft, or whatever, however you want to call it, to a level, watching films, making sure that you're not out of date with technique and this and that, and whatever it is that goes into creating a review, or creating that soup in your head that processes, films when you watch them. That people come to you to kind of see, okay, let's see what this dude has to say about this particular film or whatever. So I think that's, that's reason for like a little bit of pride, in the sense that, yes, I have, single-handedly come through or gone through this journey. Nobody gave me this job on a platter. It happened by accident because I was writing reviews on email, which then got circulated to a bunch of people, and then one of those emails landed up at the desk of the editor. Who was going to take up, the editorship of the New Sunday Express. And so it was a very convoluted and by chance kind of thing happening. So I can't take any pride in that, like how I started, because it was a complete accident. But yes, I think, being proud, saying that you're a brand, saying that people come to you, because that's why we went and watched those Federer Nadal matches and Djokovic matches, and before him, you'd name anybody. Recently when I read a long piece, a beautiful piece about the friendship between Martina Navratilova and Chris Evert Lloyd, former Chris Evert Lloyd. Now she's just called Chris Evert. I went and read it because it was about Martina Navratilova and Chris Evert Lloyd, because they are brands. If the same piece with the same evocative writing had been written about two gentle friends who I did not know anything about, I might not have read it. I'm not saying anything about the piece, but I'm going to read the piece because there are two stars in the piece and I wanted to see what their relation is like. So I think, it's very important to realize that humility is good, but it cannot define a person. You can't say this person is a good person because he's humble. I don't even know what that means, because sometimes like people just say things like I got published in this magazine. I'm humbled by the fact that I got published in this magazine. What humbled? You're publicizing the fact that you got published. So where's the humility in that? If you're really humble about it, then just say my piece in so and so, and and give the link. I mean, that means that you're being humble about it. But if you say, I am truly humbled by the fact that I've been published in so and so magazine, and I'm truly humbled by the fact that the government of India has chosen to bestow this award upon me, then that's not humility. That's you bragging. That's you humble bragging, actually. So I think there is, with justifiable cause, I am putting it out there in the universe that it's okay to be proud of your achievements. That shouldn't come to define you. You should always have a sense of balance and knock yourself down whenever you feel that you're kind of getting a little too proud, I guess. But then that's why older reviews exist, because you can always go back and see all the shit that you wrote. So but it's important to have that pride in one's achievement, because that's a boost of self encouragement, if you will. That means that you can still do it. You are doing it. And I'll tell you why this is important. Because when when somebody else tells you, hey, you've done a great job. Okay, let me take just my example, right? Okay, now let somebody says, hey, you've done a great review, I really loved it. Or hey, you've done a great interview, I really loved it. Now I don't know if it's coming by default or whether they really liked it or whatever it is. Not that I'm being paranoid, but you know what I mean. It's like it's their view. But I know myself how this interview went. When I watch it later, I'm able to objectively evaluate that, fuck yeah, this is a good interview. This went well. I was receptive, I was responsive, I was communicating the right things, I got the right things out of this person. It's a little bit different from what I've done. When I feel that happens only once in a while. When I feel that, then I feel a little proud. I am feeling a little proud that, wow, okay, good man. After all these years, you still got it. After all these years, you still got it. I think that's a very good thing. To kind of give that boost of self validification, self pat on the back. I think you need to keep doing that, because you need to affirm to you that you're not becoming obsolete, right? You're not. Of course, this is not Alcaraz's problem at all. He's budding. He's at the beginning of his career, and he'll hopefully go on to achieve these phenomenally great things. But I'm talking about those of us who've come a little way and who are kind of like in the middle, who have probably 10, 20 years behind us, and probably have nobody knows how long. It's very important to recognize the fact that, yes, I have done it this particular time. If you're proud about every single review and every single interview that you've done, then there's something wrong with you. But you know that internal mechanism that you have, that internal mechanism honed by, when you go and give your 99 marks report card and dad says, what happened to that 1 mark? That's always there, right? So you know that this is, that that this pride is going to not define you. It's not going to be like you're going to be filled with pride and all that kind of stuff. So so that's what I wanted to say this time. Hopefully you're enjoying these little pearls of wisdom. I don't know what to call them. These little pearls of I don't know what to call them. These little soul emptying or whatever it is. But I don't know what to call it. But maybe you'll find a name for it. But yes, keep watching, and I will return with some more thoughts on something, notes on this, that, and everything else. In the meantime, don't forget to be proud about something that you have genuinely worked hard for and have genuinely achieved. But also, don't let that pride define you for a very, very long time, because then you get into a sense of delusion. So give yourself a pat on the back, feel justifiably proud. Nothing wrong about that at all. You don't always have to be humble. That's a different world, and certainly that's not my world. Bye.